Now, Jakari Jackson is there in Times Square. Jakari, first off, what have you experienced in New Jersey last night? You're going back there today. You're going to be at the Super Bowl covering it live. You're going to be inside, so after you can cover it and give us your take on the radio on Monday. I'm going to be on Sunday 4 to 6. But tell me about all the experiences you've had so far, the great video reports you've been filing to prisonplanet.tv that are up on InfoWars right now, where you got pretty fired up last night, and some of the questions you're going to be out there asking coming up. Jakari Jackson from New York City.
Hey, Alex, we're out here exposing the police state and the distraction that is the Super Bowl. And you're talking about I got fired up last night. I blew up my voice 2 minutes into my first report. I came out here and pulled an Alamo, but we continued on. We're out here trying to talk to the people, wake some people up. We talked to people about a very important topic. We'll talk about the police state here in a second, Alex, but we just a moment ago shot a man on the street talking about a very important topic, that being global warming. As you can see, Alex, maybe you can't see on the iPhone, but it's snowing out here.
Yeah, pan around. Have Josh pan around.
So give him a little look there, Josh. So it's snowing out here in New York. You see all these people in their hats and scarves, and we've heard about the icebreakers getting stuck in ice. Art Acevedo, the Austin police chief, is warning people not to drive in the city of Austin because of black ice on the road. But, thank you, sir. A viewer just walked by. But they're saying that you need to pay your carbon taxes. So I want everybody out there to pay your carbon taxes to Al Gore, because I'm here in my scarf and my Under Armour, and Josh has on some Under Armour as well. So pay your carbon taxes to Al Gore. Now, let's talk about the police state. There's a huge police presence out here. We've seen guys walking around with canines. We've seen the temporary viewing devices, all the screens and stuff. There are helicopters flying above. I don't know if we can see any right now, but there's a huge police presence right here in Times Square. And we're out here in Times Square because they won't allow people to congregate outside of the Super Bowl. They don't want you to be out there because the FT has to build another giant shrine to themselves out there. So the fans are out here, but when we get to the Super Bowl, Alex, that's when the real tyranny is going to come in, because we're out here in New York. And there's a lot of talk about stop and frisk, people being stopped and frisked and pretty much molested here on the streets in New York. But if you go to New Jersey, you will willfully submit to being stopped and frisked when you go into the Super Bowl. You're going to be patted down. You're going to have to bring all your personal effects in a clear baggie. And I think it's to the point where you might as well just opt in, rather, for a proctology exam, because that's what's going to take to keep this country safe.
Well, that's right. Being sarcastic there, you actually ran into people that would accept a proctology exam or a cavity search for their safety last night. That video's up on Infowars.com. And I know they have stop and frisk violating the Fourth Amendment 300, 400,000 times a year in New York. Have you been stopped and frisked yet? Because I know they're reporting in Georgia. There's a new video out where the police actually now pull people's pants down randomly and are doing that. Have you seen any of that there, Jakari?
No, I have not personally been stopped and frisked. The police are in pretty good behavior out here. We encountered a police officer who was a viewer. We didn't have a chance to speak to him. He just said, "Hey, guys," and he walked on about his business. So the police are out here. I'll give them that much, that they're pretty good, at least today. I don't know how they are in other areas. And I don't believe it's the Times Square area where most of these stop and frisks take place. They're kind of out in the other boroughs. So, I haven't been stopped and frisked, and hopefully I won't, but I definitely will be TSA-style molested when I go to the Super Bowl.
How about flying up to New York and New Jersey? Where'd you fly into? I forget.
I believe it was Newark. Josh, it was Newark. Yeah, we flew into Newark
Newark
Airport.
Liberty?
Yes. And then we came down here. We moved to our hotel, which is just a few miles from the Super Bowl. And now we're out here in Times Square, about 30 minutes from our hotel. All
right. Now, expanding on that, what happened with the security when you flew in? What'd they do?
Well, when we came in, of course, we opted out when we were at the airport. We got patted down. Another lady who was awake and quite frankly aware of what was going on in the police state in our country, she opted out as well. I was very encouraged that she did that. I didn't have time to interview her because we had to get on the plane. So now we're out here. We went to the stadium, the MetLife Stadium. When we approached the security guard, we asked him where the tailgate was. He said, "Man, there's no tailgate out here." What's wrong? He's pretty much to the extent like, "What's wrong with you? Why would you ask where the tailgate is? You can't have tailgates. You can't have people congregating because it's not safe." I'm like, "Well, bro, it's a Super Bowl. Everybody congregates." They don't do that anymore.
No, you can't do that in America. Land of the free, home of the brave is so afraid of Al-Qaeda that the government publicly funds, and the Muslim Brotherhood, who gets to go through TSA without screening. I mean, we're so scared no one can congregate. No, they're getting ready for a controlled implosion and a controlled depression, and they're banning free assembly and free speech, and that's what's going on, is the authoritarian clampdown over America.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. That's exactly right. And so we're out here. We're going to do some more reports. We're going to talk to people, see how awake these people are, see how distracted they are by the Super Bowl. You know, will you willfully submit to being patted down? I mean, you're paying thousands of dollars. You're paying for plane tickets, hotel tickets, the tickets to the Super Bowl themselves, even the nosebleed seats are around $1,700. So you're going to pay all this money to sit in the cold and be molested and have your Fourth Amendment violated.
You know, I heard they almost moved it to another week because of the Arctic blast, because of global
that's
cooling.
Another reason, Alex. I'm blaming you on this because I know you don't pay your carbon credits. They have so much snow at the Super Bowl. There are guys right now digging out the Super Bowl. There's so much snow in there. So they're digging out the stadium. Well, but if everybody paid their carbon taxes, Al Gore, everything would be fine.
He teaches kids penguins can't swim and neither can polar bears, and that the northern ice cap completely melted. Of course, it's record thick right now, Jakari, but that doesn't matter because Al Gore controls reality, and Obamacare is kicking poor kids off their coverage now, but it doesn't matter. The Democrats aren't going to apologize because they have the moral high ground, Jakari.
That's exactly right. And also, Obama said that if you live in Africa, you should not have air conditioning.
Or a car, or ever have any appliances.
Exactly right, Alex.
Because, I mean, he's got to have, millions of dollars a day on vacation and jumbo jets and red carpets. But people in Africa got Americans have to learn how to be poor. Jakari, we got to pay our carbon taxes.
I lost you there.
Well, no, I mean, I just think it's really bad that you don't want to pay Al Gore carbon taxes to save the polar bears that are 5 times their number they were in the 50s. Well,
Alex, we encountered some wicked thought criminals who actually used cognitive functions here. And they said, sir, I'm asking these questions about the carbon credits and the carbon taxes. They say, sir, well, if we have record low temperatures and icebreakers are being stopped in ice and police chiefs are telling people not to drive in Austin, Texas because there's so much ice on the ground, I don't think that's cause for global warming. I don't think that's proof of global warming. So we quickly distanced ourselves from those thought criminals. Now we're out here to talk to more people about more important issues like the Super Bowl.
Well, that's right, Jakari. Now, getting serious here for a moment, tell me what you're planning to do, because I think you should go out and, bring up the fact to people that, hey, did you know that the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, Muslim Brotherhood is allowed to go through TSA screening? Did you know our government's funding Al-Qaeda in Syria? Well, then why do we have to take our rights away? I think you should go and get a lot of their zombie comments and have, one video about the NFL zombies on the loose. I think you should go out and also discuss, I mean, what are some of the ideas that you've got to cover? Obviously, you're going to look at the fake security. They've got snipers. They're saying they plan for attacks on mass transit, seen as top Super Bowl security risk. I would go talk to people getting on the subway, and ask them, are they afraid because they've been told it's a big risk? Or do they understand this is all about a climate of fear so the power structure can take over?
Yeah, we'll try to get those done. But we'll talk about, be serious here for a moment. We're talking to people about a very serious issue. That's being human trafficking and the prostitution that surrounds the Super Bowl. We were watching TV last night, the local news, and it wasn't too far from here. They busted a prostitution ring. So we'll go out to that location, film there, and ask people, or at least do a good report.
Well, that must have been one. That must have been one that wasn't paying its cut. My big issue is just the underage prostitution that's really bad. But Acorn didn't get in trouble for trying to run deals doing that. Remember?
That's exactly right. James O'Keefe of Project Veritas went and talked to Project Acorn. And he said, I'm bringing child prostitutes. I believe he said he's even bringing them from out the country. And the ladies responded, that's fine. Just make sure they go to school. And it's that kind of mentality, Alex. It's well, it sucks for them. That's just the way it is. But
they have the moral high ground. That's why they're allowed to do that, because they're liberal. Now expanding on this, Jakar, because I'm wargaming here, the questions, I would go out there and ask people, who do you think's going to, I know who's going to win the Super Bowl. And they'll come over and debate, and I'll say, no, I'll tell you. It's this is what I want you to do, man, on the street. It's the tax-exempt, multi-billion-dollar stadium, some of them $1.5 billion like Jerry Jones's, paid for by a guy worth billions and billions of dollars, and they're tax exempt, but they'll take old ladies' houses if they don't pay their property taxes, or if you don't pay your Obamacare tax. I want you to get in these people's faces and say, shame on you, after they say they don't care and they only care about the NFL. I want you to bring that up and say, hey, I know who's going to win the Super Bowl. Do you want to know? It's fixed. And they'll go, it's not fixed. I like the Sea Hags, or, I like the, Evil Donkey, or whatever it is, the 2 different teams. And then you go, no, I'll tell you who's going to win. It's the fact that they're tax exempt. Do you think they should be tax exempt, or should you pay for their stadiums? And they'll say, well, no, I don't. We'll go, well then, chump. You know, realize that's why they're passing Obamacare and open borders and everything, is because we're known as chumps in this country. Jakari, that's what I want you to go ask them, is about the tax exemption. What do you say?
Yeah, we can do that. We're out here, got plenty of people, so we can get that done.
Symbols are powerful, and the globalists have hijacked the symbols of America. They've turned them into their own symbols. Well, we are restoring the idea of the true republic, not the counterfeit globalist empire, by promoting the icon George Washington and others. That's why we're rolling out an 100% made in America line of incredible pro-liberty apparel. We are repopularizing liberty. We are helping fellow Americans rediscover what made this country great. We are the spirit of 1776. We are 1776 worldwide. We are all brothers and sisters in arms in the animating contest of liberty in the long march towards humanity's ultimate destiny of freedom. Visit madein1776.com today and vote with your dollars to promote truly made in America, high-quality products, and promote the ideals of liberty.